Can anyone hear me?
I could hear you. Hey, Shorty.
Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks. All right, let me share I'm in Trading View right now. Let's start with ES real quick. We're just marking epochs and POCs now on this. Fairly important one. I think that's it for epochs and POCs.
Hey, Shorty, why don't you chart the one on the 21st? Is that because the price just blew through it like the last couple days?
February 21st?
Uh, I think the one closer, I can't really tell. I'm trying to see. I think it's March 21st. You have there's like one in between those like
Like this
last
one here?
couple. No, a little bit farther.
What?
On the 21st, I believe, of March.
You're talking about this one here?
That one and then the one to the right of it a little bit higher. Why not
Yeah,
those two?
so if I mark these, I mean, for me, I would not take a trade, right? So if you look at it here, I saw it, right? So for me, it's like 44, 198, 44, what is this? 44.98, 44.91. I would not take a trade on any of these till this 44.85 is broken.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because here, this is basically, this is them telling you we're going to chop around in this area here.
I see.
And
So if you're already not in, there's no point in getting in.
yeah. You don't want to
Okay.
get in here because you're going to be chopped up. Until you break this POC here, there's no reason to mark it. Hopefully it makes sense, right? So you
That
got this
makes sense.
one. Yeah, I don't want to mark that one because, and honestly, it didn't really hold this bounce here, the last one that we had, which was more psychological, 4,500 and, whatever. And
See, yeah,
if
because
I
I
was to short this, I would give myself the 15 points that I ignore it. And then when it drops, you see that there's not much in here, right? I mean, until you go all the way to the left. But from this fresh side, this one here is the only one that you could consider scaling out, which would make sense, like 50 points, hey, take that and run.
cool. That makes sense. Yeah, because I like chart them, but then I guess there's really no point in charting them if it's not worth taking the trade.
Yeah, if they're too strong, usually what I do, so you probably noticed, as you did on that one, when I see like two or three like this one, so you see here I found two in a row and I marked that as 2x POC. It doesn't make sense for me to even mark this one here in between, like I'm not even gonna, sure, I can reject that, you can mark that if you'd like, but I would not take a trade long until it goes over this level and comes back and retests. So that's how I look at it. And then you see here, like you have another double. Then you have like maybe even more than double here. Yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what you do on something like this becomes like a major zone. You don't really put, you could average them out and find somewhere to be in the middle like this. But that's what I would do. This becomes your major supply zone here. So you go through this. Maybe if you go through 4,600, then you have a little bit of more room to go towards 47, then 4,800, which would be, I guess, the all-time test here. Yep. So this is your all-time supply test right here, and I would expect people to start selling again because this would be the first time going back to it. Hopefully that makes sense, but good question, yeah.
That was perfect. Thank you. Yeah, because I chart them and it's just like it gets a little cluttered, but it's not like it helps me take a trade anyways. So
Exactly.
it makes
So yeah,
sense.
I
It's
just
just not
ignore it.
draw it. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
So then the next step is always what I do is I'll look for like trend lines. And if you guys see here, we have a nice trend line here. So here you had like a little bear trap. They fell for it, and then we bounced right off that level. And usually what I like to do is I like to use the channel feature of it. So this looks pretty good until you reclaim that 45.50, retest it, maybe go up to here to this trend line, come back, then you take the long. Otherwise, it looks like we're going down a little bit to this 4,500 level. So that's ES, pretty straightforward. We'll just look at SPY. SPY we had charted pretty nicely. We have major supply zones here coming up on it. So let's see. I think this one's pretty much marked up. we're in a really, really strong supply here. So unless we break the 449, then we'll have a little bit of room to break. So 448 break gives you about almost $3 drop on SPY. So that's something to watch for. And then if you take this off, I'm pretty sure you can find a nice channel like we did earlier. Let's pretend that this is the channel. So yeah, let's see how we do here, if we break through this or not. The same concept. Probably, I don't know where we're going to open, but I would wait for that 448 break or shorter between 450 and 448 and then get out here. If we break, then you have a little bit more room. Qs. So the Qs falling wedge that I showed you guys intraday, I think it was Friday, worked pretty good. No longer valid. I have a nice little channel here, and then obviously we broke out of this one. And when you look at this on the bigger picture, let's say look at on the daily. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5, 6. We had 6 out of 9 days that were green, very, very green. I think it's time for a pullback. So I would not be shocked if we pull back to this VPOC of 348, which lines up perfectly with this breakout here. You guys see these? So if I was to put these wicks here, look how nice that looks, right? So you had a double top, which is your double top on this, which is the neckline of the double bottom here. So that level right here, 348.74, becomes really, really important for a retest. So, and I think we might retest. And if we don't, if we decide tomorrow that we run, then you watch this VPOC that we have at 364 for a rejection, and then we, excuse me, slowly kind of start coming back down. Yeah, we do need a little bit of a pullback, in my opinion, but let's see. Let me make sure I have these marked. Thought I did them, but not all of them. So this might be a good short tomorrow, below 356.11. That's an easy short. At 356.11, if this breaks right here, this is easy tomorrow. Easy money from them. 356, we're going back 353. We break that, then we're going to the 351, 350 level for a range test. Definitely watch this tomorrow. Oh, wow. Anything pop out? Just looking at this to anyone? Makes sense to anyone? What are you seeing here? Just start slow. This level is going to be super, super important. I'm going to put it on the upper one. But we'll wrap this guy. So this one is important. See how it came back for a retest on that range. And then it came back here again. And here it bounced. So I'm pretty sure we go here today. We break that, then we know that we got that almost, well, not almost. But I think we go to this POC here, 14.5. If we break this level here, so 14.622. So we have a 100-point drop below this line. So that should be pretty straightforward tomorrow. So you guys see this range here? You have a little bit of a shelf here if you look at this chart. So you have a tiny little shelf here in between, but this otherwise becomes a pretty nice free space here. Gonna watch for that tomorrow. You gotta switch to 1 hour for a second. And this level needs to hold tomorrow. You see. One of them was a leap up. That'd be NQ. Alright, let's switch Apple. So I charted Apple today as I got a few minutes for my kiddos. Yeah, we are hitting major supply here, so that's why I entered some puts and I swung some. But I think we're gonna, if we come back here, this is gonna be a pretty good short. Looking at this, if you guys look at this little pin bar right here, it's almost creating a supply zone by itself. So I'll definitely watch this tomorrow. I'd look shorter again here, and my level would be 171 for the first target. Then if we lose this, then we get a little bit more space. So if you look at this on the VPVR, so you can tell here that this level like a 170 right here is fairly important. I would say anything below this level 170, then you get a little bit of support here. And then the crucial dumps happen right here below 170.14, which you guys can see as well. So once you break this 170.14, you guys see the gap here? This would be rather quick here, so you can pick up almost $1 easy on this if it happens. But I'll be shorting the top here into the supply zone, and then know that you have a little bit of support here building up. Okay, so that'll be the apple if I was to play it. The goal would be to short it into the supply and keep a tighter stop loss on it in case it wants to go to the 178. So if we see the the market's flipping and they want another bull run for some reason, if it breaks this 175, put your stop loss at 176.10, like maybe April 14 contracts, and then see how we do on those. But I think it might play out nicely here. Tesla. So we hit the VPOC here almost perfectly. Let me take this away. Oh man, yeah, we definitely have a supply zone here. Below 990, this looks pretty. You guys see what I'm talking about? I think my level was 984. Yeah, it was this level here. Short. Yeah, we definitely short Tesla below 984. Because then it really has room to hit this VPOC at 900. And this is from 321. Yeah, we'll definitely watch this tomorrow. It's my top probably watch from the stocks, besides SPX and SPY. How did I draw a channel on Qs? It was just some 30 minutes. I grabbed the tops and the bottoms. So on TradingView, you have this feature called on the right, on the left, if you go, it's called Fib Channel. I just have it saved here as a favorite. So basically just, I did this. Yeah. Like that. That helps. Okay, so that's Qs, we cover Tesla, Amazon. So on the daily, if you look at, this just naked chart, right? What would you guys say here? Yeah, it's consolidating here, but it looks like it might be pushing for a crazy run, either a drop and then a run, or you're just gonna continue a crazy run. If you're gonna short this, I would definitely use this here, break naked chart. This is where you short. So this is your higher low. Might break this, but for me, that's maybe you have enough meat here. 32.68, 32.45, but not for me personally. I don't do that. I would wait for the higher low to be taken out. And then here you have a nice little candle that I would watch for supply and see what happens there. If you want a bigger supply, just use the bigger indecision that we have here. If you're gonna go long, just price action wise, you're looking at 32.27, go long here. Short. And this would be just naked price action charting here. And then you see how important this level will be, the 32. So below 32.45, it looks good. We'll turn on some magic. Oof. And this is primed to revisit some of these epochs. Usually the rule is, everybody, maybe you're new or not, if you have 5 epochs or like, if it looks overextended on 5 days like this, usually it's going to start coming back. And usually if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to consolidate. You see the same pattern. It ran, it's going to consolidate, and then you see a dump. So that's where, if you look at this, if you short 32.45, 3200 is your bounce area, and for you it's a get out area. And then if you add these levels, it's your epoch. I just wish there's an automatic way to mark them. Sequence is lacking here. And it's up to you guys if you want to put the date or not. Sure, you can put it. The only reason I put the date is when I help you guys identify the dates. Hey, this was the epoch from this date, blah blah blah. So that way you guys are more familiar with it. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need it. You don't really care. It's good to put the dates if you're going beyond 30 days, so that way you know how far out you're going to get the level.
What setting do you use for your volume profile? Do you use rows or tick size?
I do rows.
Okay. 200, I'm
So
guessing.
row size 50,
50?
well, 68. I usually play with this to give me more days, like where the VP shows. So if you increase or lower it, it depends what you do. It'll adjust how many days back you can look up. So I think that's how I change it sometimes.
So is it just more accurate the higher the row size is, or
It gives you, I guess it gives you a little bit more or less of these bars, right? Like how many you're going to squish in and squeeze in so you can see the volume profile better. For day traders, the difference between TradingView and TOS, the way they calculate, it's two different philosophies, right? So TradingView uses actually more appropriate volume profile than TOS. TOS uses aggregate volume. So there was a different mathematician that they hired to do this, and TV actually does it better than TOS. So when I look at the levels from point of POC and a volume profile, for me, the best has worked anywhere here when I play between 65 and 50, and the volume area always 68. And the TOS, if you're using it for day trading, you can't use current day volume profile. You need to look at a previous day volume profile for the current trading session on ThinkOrSwim, just because the way they calculate it is not optimal for day trading. I don't know if people knew that or not, but now you know.
That's perfect. I know we have a couple different settings that people use in Discord, and I was just kind of curious what the
Yep,
difference
no,
was.
good
Or
question.
even like sometimes, like you'll post a chart in TOS, and it feels like it hits those levels nicely, and then sometimes you post it in TradingView and it hits those levels nicely. I know they're a little bit different, so that actually
Yep.
makes a lot
No,
of sense.
I play actually both. If you guys know, I'll do this once I'm done with the watch list, or tomorrow morning when I wake up 4 or 5ish. I'll do the same exercise on the other platform. uh, for viewing purposes, I just like, I don't know, TV just seems easy in my eyes. I don't know why. I'm able to recognize stuff much cleaner, much quicker on TradingView than I am on Toss. For some reason, I don't know why. I really don't.
So
And here, if
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just wondering, so like when the trading day is going, and now you kind of have your levels charted for both platforms, and they're just a little bit different. Do you prefer to look at one over the other if they're like?
I look at both.
You look at both.
If I'm placing a trade like SPX or SPY or Qs, so I have two 49-inch monitors, and I have another one that's like 30-inch, and then I basically look at both sides to make sure I'm not missing like an entry. If it's 20, 30 cents apart, and I use Toss, I'm gonna get enough of those levels. I can, swallow, 10% loss or a drawdown on a contract that I'm in for a moment. Otherwise, yeah, I'll look at both to make sure I'm not being misguided by the platforms.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. And if you look here, just look at this levels here. I just keep going back and look at this supply right here that's been built over time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11 days it took to accumulate, even more, 12, 13, to accumulate these levels here. So about 13 days at 34.10 on Amazon. So if we do go through the 33.27, I would guarantee that we're going to go to 3,400. Pretty much in split seconds on this one. Let's check this. So here, look at this. Kind of gives you a bigger view of accumulated. So now we're looking at like this volume profile on the right is accumulating every single one of these volume profiles and putting into the shelves here. That's what the VPVR, visible range variable, is doing. So now if you look at the levels, you see here, once you're above the 33.5, man, it just looks pretty good all the way 33.76. So it has major resistance here. If you look at these levels right here, what is this? 33.42. So probably around 33.50. If I were to grab this shelf here, and let's just make it the shelf itself. If you look at this shelf here, this is going to be a major probably level to go look at for short, because just from the previous action that it's had, and 33.50 being psychological number. Yeah, but if you look at this, I just accumulated that volume profile. You see the resistance that we're running into right now, all the choppiness in between. So if anything, it could reject right here where I'm at right now. What is that? It's pretty much 33.01, which has been the bottleneck for it, and we have identified some levels there already. So yeah, so go watch this tomorrow. I like Amazon short. We just had PayPal, somebody asked. We'll take a look at a few of those. Yeah, PayPal might come down. It might have a pump tomorrow at open and then come back down. It could come back down pretty hard all the way to 100 soon. 105. It has the 110. So pretty psychological levels on it. And then you have a major supply or demand zone here that's been built. If you look at it here, this is going to be major. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of accumulation between 100 and 95. So it becomes fairly important to be aware of these. And, if you look at these levels, $4, you probably don't want to be playing zero DTEs or anything inside of this cloud, because you really have to know what the hell you're doing and where you're getting out, because it's rather quick. Here you get a little bit of space, so let's see. See how they've been attacking that 100 level, 110.94, 110.25, 109.58. And if you break this trend line, it might be worth looking at. And if you guys know, this is probably one of my favorite setups when we have like a falling wedge. This is not the cleanest falling wedge, but we can call it. Running into a good demand zone. We have a level here. You guys see this level here, have a level here. Multiple levels in this area between 110 and 109.58. So if this area fails, there's a high chance we're going to the 105. Super, unless, let me see. No, we're still there. Yeah, we might definitely have an area to bounce tomorrow here. So I'll definitely watch this. We already had some swings on this one. Hopefully some of you guys took profits off the table, but it was a pretty good play. PayPal, let's see, Square's another one if you want to look at it. Yeah, Square looks pretty nice. Yeah, you see how it came back to the same exact setup. So if you go back to PayPal, just pay attention here, right? You had two here. You had the single here that matches the levels. If you look at it, maybe a few cents away. And you had another one here. So if I was just to mark these levels, then I wrap these guys. You see how nicely that looks here. And now if I go from here to here, and you see how beautiful that is, right? So you're running into a nice demand zone. We broke it. So you rejected it here, came back down. You finally got over it. Now that demand zone is going to be your support zone. Or we hope it is, right? So in case you decide to go long tomorrow. In case it breaks, well, then you're going to get a real nice breakdown because you have the repocs that will act as magnets below to pull it back. I mean, it has two, about $12 a piece. So yeah, 14, 12, and 4. And then we got some levels in between. We have to figure out which ones are important. And this one here is fairly important. So which is the same one. So I guess 110-ish. Yeah, so we won't go with that one. This was the gap. 103. So 112, 103. This was the bounce before. This becomes a nice potential play on this. 115. So a break below right here, I would say break below 125, you get 122, then you get really good shot to 115. Because this POC here did use as a nice bounce at 117, but I don't see it holding much. I'll just look at it real quick on the weekly. Yeah, so I'll most likely test. I would not be shocked if it goes to like 126-ish. Test that. Let's look at the 3 days. 3 days, but you guys know what this is called here, right? They have a nice little pin bar, pretty good ratio between the candle and the body if you were to calculate it. Right off the bat, it's probably 75 on the wick side. That looks bearish on a daily. Looks like they're trying to defend that right here. What we talked about. So they did tap that. So let's look at it, right? So here comes a perfect tap into a demand zone. Now we're consolidating here. Yeah, so if we can clear this liquidity zone, which was set up by the retailers, you guys see this. So this level here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys notice these? I need you guys to understand this, so that's why I'm asking. You guys understand this? You see it here, how it's bouncing?
Yes.
Good. So the reason why it's bouncing here is not because the big boys were buying here, is because the retail was buying this level here based off the wicks last time. If you look at the volume shelves, it's not telling you much on this one particularly here. It's a gap. So what the institution did in this one is they trapped people here. They said we're gonna go higher, make them believe it on the bounce, let them go. And then they sold the shares right here, because you can tell just by looking at this, right? See what they did here? So they sold the shares to them at the highest point, and then they dropped it below their stop loss area, which is these, right below these levels is retail stop loss on the shares. So let me ask you this. If you know you're a big boy and you know a lot of retailers have a lot of shares here, it's not individuals, but a lot of people, they would probably put a stop loss somewhere right below here, right? I would say they put a few dollars below. So if they put a few dollars below, what they're actually going to do is they're going to go to the real demand, which was we identified. If you look on the left circle, this is a true demand that most people don't know how to maybe draw or use. But I don't know why it's called a liquidity sweep. They drop right through it and they get your shares because you're so scared. And then they basically get them for cheap and then they look to bounce it. So now if you're able to go over 131, like right here, I mean, you have a nice little zone because, they started selling heavy here. So, 131 to 133, maybe even if you want to push it to 135, that's possible, right? But I would definitely wait for this right here to go long, 131, 8-ish on square, and then play it for $2, $3, get 30-40% on that and get out. And if you're new, I don't look for 1,000% bangers. That we get those? Yeah, of course we get them, but I don't live to have one day 1,500%. The next day I have, nothing. So I'd rather have 20%, 30% daily, or 10% daily versus the bangers of 1,000, 1,500% once in a while. So, compounding is the name of the game. The rest is just people losing money. Okay, we covered that. Do you guys want me to go on the smaller screen if it helps anyone?
Would that make the text bigger?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Is it better?
Much better.
All right, perfect. Sorry, yeah, I'm just used to it. Hold on. We covered that one. I'm just going to throw some random ones here. Microsoft holding that 301 for dear life. Let's see what we got here. Do you guys see anything on Microsoft? I'm not going to move my screen. I want you to figure out, is the worst trading, when is it worth taking a trade long? Just based on what you see here.
If it gets over 312.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for us to be even involved in this. This level right here is the level that you're looking at, right? Because then you see some space that's opening up, right? All the way to like 318 or so. So if I was to just mark this level here, I'm just using the volume shelf, the bottom of it. Look what happens then to the left. So that's where retail messes up a lot, right? Is they use, whether they use Wix or whatever they use, but you really need to use volume, whether it's TPO or volume profile as we use mostly. You need to have the levels drawn based on volume or TPO or some kind of volume related, time related activities. If you look at this, would you guys call this a bull flag here? Is this a bull flag or a bull pennant? Anyone?
Isn't the wasn't the drop too much of the flagpole for it to be a flag?
It depends. Which row are you looking at? Are you looking at this or are you looking at the bottom? So if you go on 1 hour, depends how far you're looking to be. So this right here, of course, this is not a bull. If you consider this to be the pole, then it's not too bad. What about now?
Yeah, you can see it more clearly now on the
Okay,
bigger time frame.
watch now. This is why multi-time frame analysis are so important. So I'll just delete these lines real quick. Does it look like a bull flag still to you or no?
No.
What does it look like now? What is it now?
Bear pennant?
That's a bear pennant on 3 days. You look at a daily still, right? I mean, even here, if you kind of adjust these, I was just not being very careful at drawing them, but if you look at this, you know, you have one, you have the second, you have the third bounce right here. I mean, you break below this level, whatever that is. What is it? 300? This has room to come back down all the way here. Look at this cluster here. You see how big of a volume shelf they created with this? So remember earlier when we were talking about like 12x POC, this is just like 1, 2, 3, maybe let's call it 5. The other one, when we marked, I think it was 5 or something. It was like 12x POC. So this one is 5. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was Q's. No. Or Amazon. Yeah, look at this here. Look at this shelf that's sitting right here at that 3,400. I mean, it's giant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if you want to call this one here, 12 days. Look at the volume shelf. It's giant. And we are all the way here right now. So if we want to catch some people trapped, you push to this level and then you'll have to come back to this level here. Let's see what else. Any other tickers from anyone?
Shorty, can you do Facebook?
Look at this. See the volume profile literally telling you here. Interesting. Let's see. I would short it below 219. I would get out of the short at 214. You might have a little hiccup, a little trap at 216, 17. So if it dips, you have 3 points, you should get out. Dips below 216, 7. You have a little bit more to short. You have a VPOC here at 209. So you kind of like 210. Yeah. So you have that one there. Then you have another VPOC right here. Yeah, there's a lot of VPOCs right below it. I'll definitely watch this one tomorrow.
I have one
Okay.
at 204.48.
Say it again.
I have a VPOX at 204.48
204.48.
on March 17th.
So this one here, yeah. But I don't have it at 204 on TradingView. It's at 206.08. Are you using TOS or TV?
Uh,
Sorry, you broke up. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you if you're on TOS or TV.
I'm on ThinkOrSwim. My levels are like a couple cents off of yours.
Yeah, which is fine. They calculate, the volume profiles are calculated differently between TV and TOS. So that's why I personally, I like to do both, as I was mentioning earlier. I usually mark levels on this platform and the other one and see which one is hitting and then which one is more relevant to the price action that we're seeing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't really tried getting familiar with TV. I have it, but I just haven't messed with it.
As to me, I mentioned earlier, not promoting anything. I don't really get nothing from TV, but just simpler to use. I don't know. I just see it clearer. So, but this is the levels I would look on this. Definitely short below 219 to 216. Trim there. If you see weakness, let it ride all the way to 214. more weakness there, then you have, I guess you have a VPOC here. Try and see when they hit. Right it open, I don't know. Let's call it VPOC for now. Yeah, this is definitely a VPOC. And then you have definitely a VPOC here. Then you definitely have a VPOC here. And then you definitely have a VPOC here. I mean, this is, yeah, this is textbook. When it starts dropping, just enjoy the puts right here.
Thank you.
And then just know, I think gaps at 247, 248. This will be your gap zone. At some point, we'll test this guy. I just don't know when that will happen. There's a really strong level here. What is this? 232. So just pay attention to this level for everyone else, like on the call. What they like to do is, once they get stuff going like this, they like to sell. Once you get to the 232, what do you think every retailer is thinking? Well, every retailer is like, man, we're going for the gap fill. So what do you think a market maker would do?
Keep pushing it so more
Take
people
off.
buy.
What they probably like to do, this is just my opinion, right, is they come to this level, they go, like, they push it to here, right, and then a hard return, right? If you're able to do this, and here you sold, at this point, you sold, let's say, 1 million of 250 calls, what happens to the calls?
They get burned.
All of these calls become market makers' money. It's breakfast money.
Right, just basically like to fake them out is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is usually what happens. And you can watch this, and I'll leave this note here. But usually that's what they do, is people get so excited, and they're like, oh my God, I'm a guy, buy the, this, 250 calls, and time is important. They get you excited about this. They make your stomach whole butterfly. Oh my God, I'm gonna hit the gap. I'm gonna make money. And then they're like, oh, never mind. Facebook has news or whatever. And then they're like, oh, come back down. And you go back to 19, and these 250 calls go from, at this point, I don't know, I'm guessing without the IV and stuff, they go from, let's say, $600 to $25. And people that don't have a necessarily, let's say, you bought it here and you didn't have a stop loss at this POC right here, the $3, you're done. You just lost your account. So that's how you have to start looking at some of these levels. Where would they look to make money, and how would they make money? And once you start implementing that and having those scenarios in your head, like just we just did now, then it'll start making sense a little bit. And that's why the OAI script comes in handy. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, so much information. Well, you start thinking like that, the OAI script will be able to tell you whether those 250 calls premium is heavy or low, what is the OPEX on it when expiration is hitting, whether it's monthly or whatever. You'll be able to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense now. Okay.
Thank you. That definitely helps to have another
Yep.
point of looking at it.
No, yeah, I mean, that's all we can do, right? You got to have multiple analysis on it. Somebody asked, is it CCJ? What is this? Vehicles, Shop, BA, Myrna, CCJ. Okay, I went backwards. Is this weed talk? Maybe it's the weed stock. Uranium? Okay, well, that's an interesting one. Wow. That's crazy. Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely watch for this level here, 30.65, without looking at anything else. That's your level to go along until 38-ish, or whatever this, yeah, 36.5. It's breaking out of this bull flag here. It broke this one. And it didn't like that 50% that much.
Can you do in video?
Yeah, let me finish this. I would definitely look to buy at this level. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back to it. 27.21. That's where I would look to buy. Uranium is going to be a hot topic for a little bit, as you guys know. It's used in some critical stuff. The topics that are being covered by media right now, this is going to be driven. All the commodities are going to be driven heavily. And we missed this one. Wow. Did anyone catch this? What a beautiful play. This is just, look at this here. 1, 2, 3, come back, foot gone. Straight break from 25.38. And now it's entering some major supply. Yeah, man, we can look at commodities any you want. That's the guy I was looking for. Look at the rejection where it happened. Yep, so something's gonna come out in the news. You can definitely short this below 35.8. Yeah, this one is an easy short here. Or go along about 39. So yeah, I would definitely watch these and next. What did I promise? Anyone else? I think shop. Yeah, shop's time for a downturn. We talked about shop last week, I believe. Yeah, we talked about the levels were actually bounced. It was 683 that we had, right? Or 670. I know I had something 3. So let's see. Some important levels in every one of these. Yeah, this is headed to 656. So most likely what I will do tomorrow, if the market's down, I haven't checked futures on ThinkOrSwim. So if it dips below this POC, you look to take it again off of the previous day POC on the short side. So whatever this level is here, I guess the 680 is fairly important. So you're looking to short, dip, come back, short. I mean, there's a lot of space once it starts coming down. When's the ER on this? If you're not comfortable, then you really want to short it at 656. Break of 650, I would say definitely want to short this guy. You'll have a little bit of support. Well, you'll have a little bit more support here. This level here. So 620 to 599 is a good ratio. 650, 11 bucks here. So this one here is probably the easiest one to short. $632 to 600 is pretty good. And then if you take all of it off, and then this decides to go on the upside, I would want that to break. I'll definitely watch this to break here. And if you can get it, you know, if you see the returning, the 650, 656 area will be really important for it. So you have a nice little falling wedge right into a demand zone. We talked about shop. So I'll make sure I hit everybody's else requests real quick. Myrna. Phew, wow, what happening here? I said it was going to dump in our last watch list, but I didn't expect it to dump that fast. If it's unable to hold this, I guess, bottom here that it had, 163, it has room all the way to about 155-ish, 156. Wonder what happens to the stock once they announce this whole Corona crap's gone. I mean, this has a lot of room to collapse, but I'm pretty sure if I go on the upside, it has a lot of room to catch up. There's a nice resistance here at 178, 2 days, and dump. I'll look at Myrna with caution a little bit. I don't like trading it just because this was probably one tweet that fucked you over on a contract, and you have nothing to do with it. So that would be Myrna. Below 163, 156, watch for a bounce. You dip below 155, then you get the 147, you lose this demand zone, you're going 138. It has a lot of nice room for trading, and if you're a naked trader, So you wouldn't even be able to catch this in the morning, this little dump that they did. So it makes it a little bit hard to trade that. Let's see, BA, let's look at the daily on this guy. This one's been accumulating so long here. And this is just like, I don't know if you look at the chart, right? So it has these long jumps you see then night. It's almost same pattern, just longer here. Consolidate, jump, and then this has been a long consolidation on it. So if you look here, maybe I should use that. And then if you look at it, just price action. Here's your daily. It really needs to clear 193. So here's like price action wise, just on BA. This one is really hard to trade. If you're a newbie, I don't suggest you spend a lot of time on BA. Yeah, so for me personally, I would definitely only consider it right here to go long. Because this one doesn't respect much of anything. So if you break this 193, then you know you have 198, and I would get out there. You can definitely watch this tomorrow. And this will kind of line up, maybe, you know, if it consolidates and then it pops, it could break this level here as well. Then you have psychological 200. There you go. So I would think has upside, but then you have to watch for the news. I wouldn't touch it till it breaks 193 on the upper side. And if I was shorting this guy, it would be definitely below this this right here. It would definitely be below 184. What is this? 184.77. That would be my short. I don't know who asked for BA, but that was it. I see what you're saying on the bull pennant, right? I like to see bull pennants more in an upper market, uptrending market. Yes, you know, does it look like a bull pennant? Yeah, sure. Setup wise, yes, it does. Conditions wise, does this look up to be a bull pennant? Anyone?
Yeah, it does.
This looks like a bull pennant.
Uh,
We could try
Harness.
checking the 2-day and the 3-day just to be sure.
So yeah, if you check 3 days, to me, I don't call this a bull pennant. But you know, different people trade different ways. But to me, this is not a bull pennant. I like to see bull pennants above the previous highs, especially on something like daily. Well, maybe you know, continues. It's just that it has a lot of resistance coming up right here. So the last time we had a pop, it was off of this candle here. So we came back here, rejected it, and then if you look at the 30 minutes here that we just talked about, can it break this? Yeah, it breaks 193, it goes right into that demand zone. or supply zones that's coming in. I just don't see it as a major runner anytime soon. Unless some news come up, that's why I stay away from it. We just had some, I think, I read last week that there was a Boeing airplane that crashed or something bad happened to it. So think about all the wars that need to happen now between, you know, attacking U.S. companies, whether it's directly or indirectly. Boeing is, you know, it's being used by American Airlines, and then you have Airbus in Europe that's being used by those. So this is going to be a lot of currency wars and monetary wars that are coming up and hurting each other more so than anything else. So keep that in mind as you trade, you know, that try to keep the bigger picture in shape. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely play this, but it's just, for me personally, if you're playing the break of the trend line, this is your reward at first. You guys see that? I'd rather you wait for the latest high or higher high, lower high, for this high to be taken out. Usually you get a retest and then you take a long. I would not risk. So, you know, if you're thinking about it, 191 to 193.47, $2.47 for the gain. I don't know where do you put your stop loss then to make it a trade that makes sense. That's all I'm saying here. But yeah, you can definitely play however you like. But my level would be 193.38.
Little off topic. Do you use the same row and row size when you look at the visible range?
Visible range. Let's see. I haven't touched this one in a while. 150 and 68. That's what I have now. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Did I miss somebody who said Pete Net? Yeah, Net might have a chance to run here soon. Saw a couple of scanners. Oh yeah, this looks good. Can barely hear you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I would look to take Net over 123 on a retest. Yeah, I would definitely need to break this level here. Flip. It looks like you have the same level, I think. Is it 123? 123.9. I can't tell. Your shit's yellow. I would wait for the 123.9 maybe, and then UPST you have. Let's see, UPST. Is it over?
Yeah, UPST looks like it's in the face.
Look what I wrote last time. Was I right or what? I said retail buying here, and look, they drove them into the wall. I said this is gonna be a short. This was a good short. It held a good level. If it breaks this previous day low or 3-day low, where is it now? 103. If it breaks 100, it's going back to 87. And that's where I want to buy it. So for me, you know, just looking at how the price action is behaving. So we talked about this, right? The order was left unfilled. So that 87 looks most likely that we're going to come back and touch it. If it holds 100 and it breaks, you know, let's say this level here, it's just that it's risky to play it from this 100 for now. Let me look at the daily. Yeah. And this looks a little bit weak now. I think he wants to go. We might get a little pop here. Let's see, where could it go? So over 105, I don't know what level you got, but over 105, it looks like 110 and 115. And this can pay. I mean, it moves nicely when it does decide to go. I mean, I'm just going off of that. So over 105.4 has 111. So you can definitely play that. And then it has a nice little line going on here. So yeah, over 105, go here, reject, and then break. That'd be good to watch.
You said 105, right?
Yeah, 105.44. Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, that's what Dark Pool has. I'm a new trader. I don't know. I'm trying to be like you.
You're funny.
That's gangster.
Yeah, we're close there on that one. Let's see what else we got. We covered this. UPSD, commodities are running. Anyone know any other steel besides X? That would be good to know.
Yo, Shorty, when you gonna play commodities with me, bro?
What are you trading? Are you trading futures or?
No. I trade the actual stocks, and I just base it off futures. Futures, price reaction.
Yeah, which ones are your favorite? I haven't traded commodities that much. Besides steel and.
With steel, there's X, there's CLF, there's FCX for copper. Let me go to mine.
What about
Mm-hmm.
like mining, like raw materials, like ore stuff, like that you make steel out of and such?
Yeah. Where's this?
Those are probably good to look at. MP, what's MP?
Yeah, CLF is a flat rolled steel producer and manufacturer of iron ore and pellets in the U.S.
Hold on, who is it?
CLF.
Yeah, I'll look at this one next. CLF. Okay. Oh yeah, this one looks good too. MP, some kind of materials.
Well,
What's MP? Do you know?
MP.
Yeah, somebody asked to look at it. It looks like some kind of materials. I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh yeah, MP is is a producer of like rare earth materials, like non-gold metals and minerals. They're mining though.
Well, they're getting a lot of fucking attention here.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god, yeah, they're getting a lot of attention here.
Bro, if you play commodities with me, dude, oh my god, bro, I'll love you forever, dog. There's some steel. There's agricultural fertilizers. Those are actually getting attention by even the White House, by the scarcity and the.
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna have food shortages very soon.
Yeah, so they're gonna rock it. So if it's food shortage, I'm trying to see like supply chains that provide the food as well, not just the ones that produce it, like Walmart.
You have a big player for distribution of food. I forgot the name of the company. I'll find it. I would take this MP over 55 with my eyes closed.
That's cool.
Or if you get a dip here on this trend line, this would be really, really good buy. Sorry. Anywhere here, I would buy that.
Oh, I got AA as well. AA is a production of alumina, bauxite, and alumini.
CLF.
AA. Oh, cool. These, bro, if you look at that chart, you're gonna be like,
You
what
said
the
CLF, or what did you say earlier?
CLF. CLF, and then you
Cleveland.
got
Is it Cleveland Cliffs? Am I looking at the right thing?
yes, sir, Cleveland Cliffs.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing her since $26. Just riding her up and down, up and down, up and down.
So this thing was like $5 in November.
Yeah, I couldn't catch it that early. Bro, if you look at these charts, they're just running, bro. And then I just have levels on like the big players like Nvidia, Tesla, just key levels. They alert, I hop in them. And I've been riding these commodities for a minute.
So this really could run into hundreds. This Cleveland Cliffs.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
Market makers are just rolling over profits. Who else? I got bangers for you, bro. You're gonna be surprised.
Well, no, I know you got it.
Damn, that's not good. You're tired, bro. Damn.
So I'm exhausted.
I got
Yeah.
bangers.
Yeah, well, send some. I mean, oh my god, what the fuck is AA?
Alcohol,
Wow.
bro. I got her at 82. I've been writing her 85 for April. Yeah, once the March expired, I got 85 for April, and then 90s.
What did they do?
Aluminum, a producer of aluminum, bauxite, and alumini. So it's like it's a byproduct of aluminum. It's
Mother
basically.
of runs, guys. You guys see this chart?
Do you see when I post or no?
I do, man. It's just that usually I'm trading live or something. It's just hard to catch it for me.
No,
But this is crazy, dude. I mean, dude, these people loaded up. If you look at the chart that I'm showing, they loaded up at 21 average. And
yeah, the
Trump
21.
scooped it up. They created a shelf here at 8 with a liquidity sweep. Look at that. They had a stop loss here for retail. This was your retail. They're like, fuck it. We're going down.
You can
Retail
actually draw.
sweep.
Oh my bad. You can actually draw like or like a level at the top of that cup before it ran up,
Oh, yeah, like here. Yeah, right here.
right there, and then all the way at the top before right there. Oh no,
I mean, dude,
little,
if you bought, I mean, just think about it. This thing went to like lowest $5, 550. Dude,
oh
10
shit,
grand and yeah, you're rocking it now.
nutsack.
Wow, crazy. Yeah. Well, you
No,
just have to take what's next.
I got fertilizers, bro. I got CF, moss.
These are all running already. I would not touch these yet.
No, just on the retest. I'm just writing it. I got my runners.
That's good. What else?
Which one's this? CF. NTR. It's another fertilizer. NTR.
They all have the same chart, man. They bought them super cheap. This is not getting retail's attention. They're gonna be looking to get out soon.
MOS. MOS.
What do they do? Wow. Oh my god, what is this shit?
This one still has room though. A lot of room.
This one has a room to about 100 or 90s, and then it's gonna get a little tight.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is crazy charts, dude. Wow. So this is where the money has been going, I guess.
Yeah, fertilizers, metals. There's a gas and oil producer one called AR. Very low key, bro. Very low key. AR. Ontario resource.
Holy crap, dude. It went from 50, what?
Yeah, bro.
It
When you
went
don't see
from,
my chart, that bums me out. But I'm like, fuck it. Whoever runs with me,
no,
run.
no, it's not that I don't see it. I'm sure somebody see it. But dude, this went from 67 cents in May, bro, to $31 right now.
What else I got?
I need to watch some of these. Wow, that's crazy.
You could do
What
EQ.
is any corn related stocks?
I think maybe LX. I think LXU. Let me see. I think LXU does corn.
What
Yeah,
about IBM?
the what?
So they've been loading up on this, guys. And I mean, we missed the full cycle on the run, but look at this. Dude, they drove it to the ground to $1. Now it's at 2,300. Just buying shares on this was, what was the previous one? AR? Look at this thing.
Yeah, they're all
Dude,
most cars look similar, bro. So when I put a
look
scanner,
at
I'm like,
this. Dude, this ran from 0.67. Look at the retest of the major trend line, dude. This was just like picture perfect. Break it, come back, and then fucking rock it. This is crazy, dude. I need to pay attention more to these.
Another gas is
You know what'd
EQ.
be good if you can do like from each one of the sectors, like
Mhm.
the commodities, maybe highlight top 3 stocks and send it like in chat or somewhere where it's saved. So that way
Oh,
I can keep an eye on it. That way, just so we don't have hundreds of them, right? So like
yeah.
energy with coal, let's pick 3 and we watch those shits. And then oil, gas, whatever, oil, gas, steel producers, oil, gas, royalty. Like find those and let's just point 3 or
Oh
5
shit.
or whatever you want. And then we
The
go
one that
from
does
there.
corn actually is fucking ADM. Anchored. No, Archer Daniels Midland. They do corn. I know that. They're a food processing company.
So look at
ADM,
this.
and I think
There.
they still have room. They have a price target of 102, I think, or some shit like that.
I mean, they're all-time highs by a mile. This is
Say what?
telling you guys the food scarcity is coming. I'm telling you, this is going to get uglier in the United States. A lot uglier than we are seeing right now, on prices at least.
Oh, you're
I'm
talking about steel,
expecting.
right?
I'm sorry?
You were talking about steel. Fuck, I forgot about Nucor. NUE.
Yeah, I'll watch, but I'm talking about food now. I think we're going to get another 20 to 30% inflation, like, on
Oh,
food. Wow, holy shit, dude.
Check out INGR as well. If that's corn.
ING. Is that bad news or something?
Oh yeah, I didn't look at that.
I like this setup actually a lot. I like this out of the ones mentioned. This one has the most room to go now. Because if you look at it, look what they did. They brought it back to the demand right here. They brought it back to a demand zone. If you look at like the daily on it, look at that. This has room to run, man. This has a lot of room to run. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this over 88. This looks solid. Right.
What else I got for you?
BG,
Oh, EQT as well, Shorty.
QT, EQ,
T. Yeah,
This,
QT. That's oil and gas production and exploration.
that's a deadly setup right here, bro.
These
That's
stocks
a good setup right here.
solutions are fucking, I guess, getting out of the big names and fucking finding like smaller names and fucking running it up. Well, you got look at me, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett dumping on Oxy. He's not a big player, but now it's becoming a big
He's
player.
buying?
Yeah, he bought a fuckload, bro.
Wow. I would definitely watch this 0 over 83, whatever this EKT is.
Yeah, EQT. Yeah. Who else I got for you? Oh, another banger I got for you is SD, Sandridge Energy.
Oh, that looks like a nice setup.
Yeah, it's an independent oil gas company.
Well, out of US or no?
Yes, they're out of the mid continents of Oklahoma and Kansas.
Mm.
Who else I got for you? Oh, another one. It's OVB, Obiton. Obiton.
OB?
Oh no, OV. Oscar Victor Victor.
No, this one will come back.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that comeback, baby.
Have you checked BG by chance?
Oh,
Never
Bundy.
bucked. Okay, so this one would be ideal if it comes back to this level. Yeah, if we could get it somewhere at 45, that'd be great.
Damn, that BG alert. Fuck, I had it in my shit after BU, Peabody Energy. Holy shit, this
Wow.
fucker's about to run.
What is Bungee Limited? Is it the people jumping off the fucking cliff?
BG is another food processing company, agricultural business and food
Holy
company.
crap. This company had a beautiful break plan. It's approaching like all-time highs right here. Yeah,
Yeah, since I'm a swing trader, bro, is like my wheelhouse because a trending chart to the upside. I'm just fucking riding the trend.
Oh yeah, I mean, why not? It's just you don't want to be the last one catching the train.
For sure, hell no. You got BTU. BTU has. Oh my god.
Sounds like natural gas or something now. Oh yeah.
Peabody, bro. Wow.
It's time to pop this one here, whatever this is.
Oh,
This one's
BTU.
ready to pop. Yeah, this one's ready to pop.
That one's oil and gas as well.
Yeah, this looks like a huge cup and handle forming here. You see it?
Oh, for sure, bro.
Look right here.
That's why I'm alerting it to you, big dog.
Yeah, I would definitely watch this over 27, 28. I would definitely watch this. Are these all optionable or?
Yeah, they're all optionable. They all have options, bro. Another one is
Yeah,
ready to go. Baker Hughes, BKR, Bobby Kendrick, Robert.
yeah, this one broke the cup and handle here. It does have a last shelf left here at 38.8.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
your entry here.
Yeah, it's dark pool around there. Yes, sir. They're all optionable, bro.
I think we said Facebook's ready to be shorted. It's in a nice channel. Options. Let's see, what do we say? So it has a nasty candle here. A lot of sellers from the 226-ish level. So if they wanted to break it, I mean, you kind of have to play the break right here of that 225. We said we're going to short it below 219.21. So this is our level to short.
Oh, bro, you know which one has been beaten down? That's been under people's radar. HD, Home Depot.
Oh yeah, oh HD looks good. I
That
really
thing.
like MU.
Oh, MU. Yeah, they have earning this week.
Oh, they do?
Yes, sir. The 29th.
Oh yeah, you're right. Do I like this? I like this stock to go actually to about 96.
For sure, bro. They dropped last earnings, and then the next day they freaking nutted, bro. Get rocket ship.
Yeah, we should definitely watch this. If somebody can remind us tomorrow, please, options or somebody on the call here, remind us to watch this tomorrow. 78.54. This break 78.54. We're gonna get a monster run.
For sure, bro. Speaking of semis, check ON. Look at this, baby. Holy fuck.
Yeah, this one's ready to roll. What is this, US or?
Yeah, it's a semi. Yeah, they're like semiconductor equipment that you need for the final production of actual semiconductors. If you look at it on what did I have it? On the weekly, has that trend from 71 all the way to the top of the wick.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I have right here.
Might not be
I mean,
people.
it has 67, 71, just looking at these levels, just to make a chart. But you see how easy these trend lines work on the bottom?
Yes, sir.
So look at this. Anytime it touched it, it was a buy zone. 55 was good. On looks good. What about TSM? Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Oh, guys, this is a market maker's pattern right here.
Yes, sir.
Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They dip it though. This is gonna rocket to all-time highs. Does everybody know what a market maker's pattern is?
No, Shorty, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Couple of group.
Let me see if there's a good explanation here. So this is probably the best one here. So you have a consolidation, they dip it below it, and then they literally rocket above it. Let me see. There's usually this one right here. I didn't mean to open that. So it's something like this. They contract it, they drop it below that zone right here. They dip it, and then they rocket that, and then they basically create a distribution phase. If you look here, here, I'll just mark this, the zone. So if you look at this, right, you see how it looks identical here. I mean, so now you can kind of compare. You have a contraction zone, right? You see the little spike? Here, let me line it up so you guys can see it perfectly. Here's the contraction zone right here, right, which is the same as this one,
Whoa.
right? And then you have the little spike, which is this one. And then you come back and you dip it below. Is it the same thing? Dip it below. When you break the average, the middle, which is the POC at 118, you're going to go much, much higher, meaning much higher than this point right here. So if you just do quick fibs on it, you're looking at like what, 170? So that's how this stock's going to play out. This is an easy pattern if you're familiar with the pattern spot. But this is deadly. This can go, if you want to play some leaps on this, like 140s for November, they will definitely pay on this.
You noticed that long ass bull pennant on Walmart?
Walmart's so slow.
It's a freaking turtle. I don't even have the patience for that shit.
I can't trade it. That Kroger, I mean, look at the monthly chart on this, dude.
I know. Yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
Man, dude, this is, I mean, yeah. It looks beautiful, but I just don't have time to
Yeah, to sit on it, of course not.
sit on that way. I'm sure they have something coming up their sleeve. I mean, they have the biggest supply chain, logistics, physical stores in the world. So,
Would you mind peeking at Kroger?
you know, take a look at Kroger. I mean, they just popped for no reason, dude. I probably had an ER or something. Let's see what happened. ER, surprise, 17. Oh, okay. So this is basically telling you that it was big boys trying to offload the shares to the poor guys. Get you guys excited.
Which is old Target, Shorty. TGT. Oh, TGT, yeah. This one it looks cute.
Yeah, this is gonna come back to about $50. It's probably gonna have another run here to get people more excited so they can sell more. But you see the volume here; they're offloading here heavily. Offload. Somebody's buying it, and then immediately sell, buy, sell. It's unable to break this level. If it breaks this level, I guess here you could go long. But I don't like playing Kroger. And then if you want to short it, here. Short it below this here, 54.54. We're gonna set an alert on it. Over. Yeah, I like target. Perfect rejection. Yeah, that's a nice candle it has. If it can close, I mean, if it pushes above that 220, that looks good for like $5 run.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would play this
It's
too.
looking for buyers right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's walking kind of on a 10 ice right now. One little mistake, or you see how here it supported it, now I went below it. Really needs to get in above it. A real action
Yes.
starts about 226.9.
Oh, and also, bro, we should look at industrials, bro. Look at Caterpillar, dude. Holy shit,
Cat,
what,
yeah.
bro? Oh my,
And
look
this
at
is
that.
definitely a buy 180. So
Holy,
definitely.
that thing did not stop, bro. And now it's forming like a, is it forming a flag on the daily?
Yeah, right above the next previous high, which is a good setup. I like these.
Cat, what's that? A cat? Oh, deer. There's deer too. Cat, deer, DE.
Yeah, these good. Yeah, I would definitely watch this.
No, DE.
So I mean, a break of this has $7 reward right here. That's your reward. I mean, you could put your stop loss probably at too big of a stop loss. Probably 220s, something like this. I would go off of this. 226 stop loss. Go long above this.
Bro, I'm
Yeah, I
trying
would
to catch.
definitely. I would play this tomorrow.
I'm trying to catch that banger from Visa, bro. I'm in Visa. I think yeah, it was when you were in TA. I was like, bro, I'm gonna catch that banger one day. That shit was a fucking ripper.
Probably they dropped Visa all the way to 186. Wow.
Yeah, but now she's picking up the pace. I like B. It looks cute. There's a kind of flag forming on the daily, kind of.
I have a little flag from there.
Trying
It's
to.
just the previous high so far away from me.
Yeah, bro. Holy
It has a
shit.
little bit of risk on it. I mean, it can go from here. I like playing these. I've played it before. If it breaks this, I mean, right here, you want to play the 220 level. Over 220, I mean, it has this little supply here. So you have $4 on it. On that one. I'm gonna look a few more. I'm heading back. What is this? Green Plains. What did they do? Found something like food wise. Ooh, I like that one, Mula. That's what I was kind of looking for. Oh yeah, I like that one. Do you know, guys, why I like this one? If it's ethanol production, anyone? Yeah, they have tight margins now, but what happens if the gas prices go higher? What do you think the gas makers are going to start adding more into your gas? Sorry, adding more ethanol. They're already at 10-15%. Flip, if you can send me some top like 3-4 fertilizer plays that you have that we talked about, maybe just in private message, just so I don't lose it. I'll write some notes on my notepad here so I can keep the names on, if you don't mind. All right, guys, I think that's it for me. I gotta catch some sleep. It's 11:30, so I can be fresh tomorrow. But we'll definitely talk in the morning. So hopefully, you guys got ideas and at least how we look at stuff for the VPOCs. And then tomorrow, once the orbs come out, I mean, it makes it super easy when you're trading something like this. You know, if you go on your 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you're using, it makes it super easy when you have these levels identified, like this level here, 32. I don't know where we're going to open, but it gives you more confluence points to know, hey, this is an important level. We have a trend line right above it. You cross it, you're probably hitting 1618 and rejecting. So that way you can create the story of what's going to happen with the levels you're given. If you don't do that, then you're kind of trading blind. That's why we incorporated VPOCs plus the orbs, and you can count them as your confluence points, meaning on orbs. So if you look at, for instance, Qs, right? So here's the 3 minutes on Qs, and if you guys were there on Friday, I think we got some bangers from $120 thanks to $1,700 on SPX. Just kind of lotto in the last 15 minutes. So here, if you look at it, right, I mean, you had the 2% on the negative side of the orbs that acted as, honestly, a consolidation zone before. And usually when you have something like this that happens towards the end of the day, you can expect the calls. And I told you, I believe, guys, at 3:35, I told you guys 5 calls look good. And that's literally where we started a massive run into the day. I mean, you're talking about 356 to like almost 360, $3 run in 25 minutes. So the contract went crazy. But this is where you can use the confluence points, whether it's like a trend line or knowing the levels before. If you knew the POC of 325 was here, you know, you should get an idea that you can get a rejection here, or like you got here. If you look, you know, for instance, right here, you had like a little rising wedge or a little flag or whatever you want to call it in this case. And look, once we rejected that, that was a good sign. You broke this trend line. You have the trend bar, then you have the orb low break and a retest, and the trend bar never really flinched on any of those, and you reported down. So that's how we use them. You can count confluence points such as your VWAP, which is this cloud, as 1, your orb levels as 2, your trend lines as 3, the trend bar, which is here, is your confluence point, and then you have the VPOCs, right? You have the POCs, you have the VPOCs here that you can count as levels as well to help you get 3 confluence points, whether you're going long or short. You want to have 3 of them, minimum of 3. When you have 3, the trade will rarely go against you. So for instance, if you look at it here, just for newer people, if you look at it right here, so we had the POC, we had the orb 50, and then you had the VWAP and the trend bar. So if you look, here's your break right here on the trend bar. Here's your VWAP break and a little struggle. And then here's an important one. It's your POC break here. And then your orb 50 was the break right here along with the VWAP. So even without this POC, you had 1, 2, 3 here. Here's your 4th. If you got in here, I mean, you would have pocketed quite a bit. 358 all the way to 355 on Qs. That's probably a couple of 100% that you could have pocketed. Right, and as soon as you see something curling like this and it's breaking the previous fib, you basically put your stop loss right here. You know, as you're moving up, you're taking profits, right? You got in short, let's say you got in short here, you know, you're more aggressive. So you have the first fib that's coming up at orb low, you take profits. The second one, take profits. Third one, let's say you take profits. And as you're taking profits, you're taking a trailing stop to the next level with your basically remaining contracts. So here you put a stop loss at this level, not necessarily a price contract price. Then you basically here, you would never have gotten out because you're still in it. Now look, you got a little bit more with the remainder of contracts, which probably would have made quite a bit of money. And then you sell them here at 2618, probably, you know, a good level to get out usually on stocks. Usually if they start going, you know, below 326, it's a really, really bad day and, you know, a bloodbath in the market. So hopefully this makes sense. You know, I know for me, the orbs are fairly simple, and for majority of the folks here, is that you're looking for 3 confluence points and everything's kind of packaged. When you turn on your orbs, you know, you see everything disappear. So you get the trend bar, you get the VWAP, then you have, also you'll get these little arrows based off the trend bar that are telling you. You can definitely use those as confluence points. But it makes it super duper easy when you have 3 to take that trade long. And here, for instance, you had a trend line bounce, which is usually a powerful one. You have that one, which is 1 here. You have the orb level, which is 2. You don't have, you know, trend bar till you get up below the 357, and then here. So was this a little bit riskier trade? Yes, but for me, it was all signals that it was going to go and explode in the last 20 minutes. Hence the reason why I got in. Okay. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys learned something. If not, we'll continue at it until you guys pick it up and feel more comfortable. Have a good night. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Shit. All right. I had one more for you,
Thanks,
Shorty.
Shorty.
Yeah,
Thank
tell
you.
me. What is it?
Oh, Etsy.
Let's see.
You might like the setup. I'm looking at it from the weekly, from the daily to the weekly. It looks like it's accumulating.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go test the bottom. Me personally, I think it goes. You don't want it to make a higher, lower low here. So it probably goes here up, then comes back somewhere around here, 138-ish. It'll definitely need to accumulate because you have a little trend line here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So it could go here, here, and then it'll be ready. I don't think it's ready to pop just yet. I don't think they accumulated enough. Yeah, I mean, 1 week here, down 2. So they only had 3 weeks of buying so far. It looks good, but it has this hammer here that is deadly right into the supply. See this supply? I mean, if you check your DP levels, you should see 170, 163 was huge. This had to be a giant seller here at this level here, unless they're going for liquidity, which I don't know. They could have been. I just don't know how Etsy is doing now with the Corona being gone. I mean, they have decent earnings. Yeah, I'll have to look at them. But yeah, this looks good. If it can hold, so it has a POC here on a weekly. On a daily, looks like it has more down, which is also the previous level here where it bounced 129.8. Yeah, that's the level they held. I mean, honestly, if you want to play it for like an intraday, not a swing, I think this is your level to go long tomorrow. 133.2 or 133.3. If you want to get over that, you have room to about 137, which is not bad. $5.
Yeah,
not
and
bad
these
at all.
you
And they
paid this
pay.
week.
Oh, Etsy
They
pays,
pay.
dude.
Oh, for
Etsy
I'll
pays
bet.
insanely, dude. Etsy, Wayfair, all of those are beaten down. If you look at Wayfair, probably in the worse shape than this one. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This went from, where did it go? From almost $400 to 170. That's crazy. They got the smackdown. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get some sleep, man. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Flip. If you can send me those stickers, man, for the fertilizers and any top one, just so I have a little sticky note that I put for the stock that I don't watch regular. I just need to add those to my regular cycle checkup.
I got you, my guy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna go get some Z's. Bye, guys.